Y'all, this is Spencer Cat with the Hillbilly Think Tank. I'm coming at you live from Tunnel Hills, and I am the educated hillbilly. No, that's not an oxymoron. Don't call me a moron. Y'all, here in Hardin County, Kentucky, we live for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we know right now this is getting tougher and tougher to say because we are having a lot of limits placed on our life and our ability to live this pursuit of happiness. But we've got to maintain our liberty, maintain our quality of life, keep working hard and working on it. Now, right now, it seems as if we are right in the middle of the Handmaid's Tale. This is something that has got me really, really concerned. So if you haven't watched The Handmaid's Tale, the premise starts off with the U.S. Congress declares that martial law is going to be put into place. They claim that our country has been taken over by a group of foreign terrorists or invaders, that the capital has been taken over. They take control of everyone's bank accounts. Women lose their right to have a bank account, has to be attached to men, whether it's their husband or brother or dad, whatever. Women can't work anymore. They lose all their jobs. And we basically a government is set up that is religious fascist, just to say at least. Well, what do we have going on now? We've got a president, Dementia Don, bombing Iran. While he's bombing Iran, he is also going straight into trying to stifle voting in America by declaring that mail-in ballots are going to be illegal. He makes a fiat that all mail-in ballots will not be allowed anymore. The courts knocked that down. As the courts knocked that down, he's still fuming about it, starts bombing Iran. And right now, while everybody's distracted, a document has been revealed, a draft document, where he's stating, or they're stating, that the president will declare himself in charge of all elections. It will be the federal government in charge of every election in the United States. Now, he's denying this, but how many times has he denied something that he knows he's doing? All the time. So he said that he is going to, according to this document, this draft, he's going to not allow mail-in ballots, and by presidential fiat with this draft, if they actually put it in effect, which we know they will, if they can. This will go through the courts. Will the courts be able to stand up to it? Are our courts strong enough to save the Constitution and to save our constitutional democracy? That's the question at hand, because the Constitution says that it's the elections and running the elections is up to each state. That is states' power, states' rights to run each one of the elections, not the federal government. So, y'all, what do you think? What is he planning? What is he going to do? Now, again, today is the 28th day of my fasting from fascism. I think it's going to be something I have to do longer than just 28 days, but I've made it 28 days. I have not used Amazon. I have resisted buying balderdash from a balding billionaire, Jeff Bezos, successfully. I've resisted it for 28 straight days. I haven't used anything Amazon, anything owned by Jeff Bezos. Obviously, with this draft coming out revealing his plans for our elections, these oligarchs are doing nothing to help us keep our constitutional democracy. So I'm going to push back more. Y'all, what should we do? What are you doing? What's your plans? Got some folks here. Let's see what we got. So Tom, welcome Tom Armstrong, regular on here. Tom says, heck, morons are smarter than most in the regime current befouling the people's White House. Yep. Happily, the SAVE Act is apparently not getting through the Senate for now. For now, that's right. There's a growing cadre of folks who are working on monitoring polling places to reduce chaos. They know that the right wing is planning to cause chaos. Yes, we know it, which is the Handmaid's Tale. This is straight up Handmaid's Tale. There will be elections. It's going to be a matter of who counts the votes. Yes, absolutely. Side note, I've been enjoying this tune lately. What is that tune? All right. On a similar note, I was talking to some of my educated friends, one of whom is a lawyer, and the other was in the media business for a while until he went corporate. So they pointed out that there are far too many polling places in the United States to be run or monitored by federal agents. They're just not simply not enough federal agents to monitor every single polling place. And that there will be states, if and when this is done, where they try to bring out federal agents to each polling location, that the governors are going to call out their National Guards, and that they're trying to take over elections is going to fail miserably and bring out more voters to stop this. I hope this was a correct assessment. They believe just numerically it would be impossible to squash the elections as they're planning. What do you think? Tom, see that you're the one commenting here. What do you think on that? Do you think that there are too many polling places and that there aren't enough of the frosties to come out and act as agents of terror at each polling location? And do you think that governors like Tim Walz will be able to call out their National Guard and stop the atrocity, stop the stupidity? That's a question. Gonna make me buy a gun is a lovely tune. Yeah, I'm gonna play that here in a second. I wish I could download it and play it here, but the rules of YouTube won't allow it. Cap Spooner, they'll deputize the yahoos. Very good point, Captain Spooner. Very, very good point. And that's what I think too. So we will find out. All right, y'all. It has been a great day, though. Otherwise, I was out in Upton, Kentucky today. The Upton Volunteer Fire Department had a fundraiser for the Children's Miracle Network. Is that it? Well, they raised a lot of money, and they also raised some money for the firehouse, Got to meet a lot of local folks out there. That was just a good time. They had a chili cook off, not chili cook off, but a chili dinner. Took donations for that, and they had a silent auction and a regular auction of items, and they raised good money for the charity. So apparently, there's going to be one of these going on March 13th in Cecilia at their fire department. They're also raising money for the charity. So it's really a good time to see folks in this part of the state. Again, we love our neighbors, and that's just what going out to that, getting together with everyone in the county and from counties around, helping each other out, helping the community out, passing on the blessings of life. It was awesome. All right. Tom says, I certainly hope that the math is correct, but I also think that the Frosties are also aware of this and will be focusing on sites that are frequented by people who are likely to vote against the turd. Well, yes, but still, there's enough of those places. Hopefully the numbers will overwhelm them. And hopefully, if and when the governors call out the National Guard, hopefully the National Guard will be on the side of their fellow statesmen and women. We'll see. Captain Spooner says, community works when you work it. Exactly. And that's just what we've got to do. We've got to work it. We've got a great community here in Hardin County. We've got great communities all over this state. We have got to be strong, stay strong, and remember, we're just out against the Epstein class. That's all it is. I know someone was asked recently if this is talking about class warfare. The billionaires are always, for a long time, last 50 years, been at war against regular Joes. As I spoke about last night, that's what the current legislative session in Frankfurt is showing. They're trying to cut off Medicaid from the poorest folks in the state by saying if they don't show attempts to work, or if they're not working, they won't get Medicaid. Well, guys, if you haven't traveled the state, there are places where there is no work at all. And folks are still trying to take care of their parents, take care of their kids. They're sandwiched in between both, and also trying to go out and cut the hay to have just enough things to sell to keep their family above the water. Working on your farm is still work. Are we going to cut them off from Medicaid? That's my question. And it seems like obviously that's what they're going to try to say they will do. So we've got to push back. That's what we've got to do. We've got to take real serious and pay attention to this next election. Y'all, I'm running for magistrate, District 3 here in Hardin County. Hope you will vote for me. I will make sure that I push for our good roads, for our EMS system to remain the top. And I will also push for us to have a tax system that works for us, not against us here in this county. Tom, the Philip Roundoff Institute will be dispatching folks who are offering rides to the polls in Louisville, and I expect elsewhere. I plan to drive that way that day. Awesome. That's what we got to do. Captain Spooner, Blair Mountain was just a warm-up. Captain Spooner, I will try to wear my Blair Mountain commemorative patch tomorrow night. I'll put it right here tomorrow night. I agree with you. I've got a great one on that Tom told me about, and I love wearing it. All right, y'all. Here in Kentucky, we know that united we stand, divided we fall. So we love our neighbors as ourselves, because we know if we love our neighbors, we can't be divided and we can't fall. We are our brother's keepers. We are our sister's keepers. So y'all, bless your corazón. Have a great night.